All right, we're dropping a course. We finally have a date. I'm hyped. I'm excited. Let's get it. All right, today's video is just going to be pretty much me walking you guys through it, explaining it, just a sit down, chill conversation. Okay. So I'm excited about this. I finally have like a date that I put out, December 18th. So it'll be next month. I think it's like 25 days, 24 days or something like that. All right. So why I'm dropping this video today is going to be kind of like a just sit down, raw talk between me and you guys. I want your guys' feedback. So please go to the comments if you can. And whatever, if you're interested in these courses, let me know some feedback from you guys about like what you guys want in it. If you've gotten other courses from other people or in other, whatever industries or whatever it is, and what you liked about them, what you didn't like about them, things you want to see in this, like different things. I've gotten some feedback where it's like a rose tutorial, this tutorial, this, that, and the third. How do you shade? How do you put together sleeves? All that kind of feedback is very, very appreciated because I want to see that stuff so that I can make this course as good as I can and as helpful as I can for you guys. That is my whole goal with this. It does mean no good if I put all this energy, time, money, resources into these courses, and then everyone's like, bro, you missed the things that I really want. Like, again, I can't please everyone, but if I constantly get the same kinds of things, those are the things that I'm going to put in it. And I've already structured it out. I've already put everything in modules, subpoints, all that kind of stuff. So, and that's what I'm using this video to kind of go over as an overview for you guys, to just keep you in the loop of like what I'm working on and kind of the things that are going to be in there. Again, I have a link that I'm going to put down in the description where it's on my website. Just go to it. It'll get you like early access, updates, all that kind of stuff for the course, any reminders. Just gives me kind of like a point of contact with you guys and to kind of gauge who I have that are really serious. But like I said, please use the comments on this video to give me some feedback. The reason why I decided to actually finalize an actual date, because I've gotten a lot of messages and emails about like, when is it going to be? Are you working on it? Is it going to be finished soon? All these kind of things. And I kept saying, yeah, hopefully in the next month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. I've been working on this for so long, but the reason why I finally just decided to put a date on it was I will keep working and tweaking things infinite amount of time. So unless I have like a deadline that I put on something, I'll just keep tweaking things. I'll keep working on things. I'll keep, trying to refine things, which is great. It's no problem. But for me, it starts to become a problem. And I know that about myself. And that's why I just decided to put that there. And that gives me enough time. I've been working on it for months already. So it gives me enough time to finish shooting it, finish editing, finish all that kind of stuff. I am doing this all by myself. So that is why I need as much feedback from you guys as possible, because this doesn't just take a day and then I put it out there and be like, well, it only took me a day. No, I'm putting blood, sweat, and tears into this motherfucker, bro. So I want it to be good for you guys. Again, like I said before, I'm not going to be able to include everything that everyone wants, all specific to each person, but it'll be the generalized things that I get the questions the most comments about, the things that pique the most interest from people, So I'm splitting it up into 2 courses, a beginner and an advanced. I was going to do a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But like I said, if you know me, I overanalyze things sometimes. And I realized it was just getting too much into the weeds, splitting hairs with is this beginner or is this intermediate? You know what I mean? So I just try to generalize it with beginner and then advanced. So I wanted to break down kind of which course would be right for you. Which one, do I think you would benefit from if you are this type of person versus this type of person? But a part of this, bro, like we always say, bro, facts over feelings, right? So don't get your feelings hurt right now with what I say, but I need you to be real with yourself. If you are a beginner, but you are making it seem in your head nah, I'm advanced. I'm getting that advanced one. You got to be real with where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when you're going to get the most benefit. If you go into it getting the advanced stuff because you think that, oh, well, if I learn this, then I'm going to be able to be this much better right away. I'm going to skip all the beginner stuff. that's not going to do you any good, bro. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that stuff is just probably going to go over your head, you know? The beginner stuff though, it's enough advanced stuff in there where it's not just like how to pull a line, how to fucking do this, and this is how you hold your machine. Like, it's not like that, bro. It is dumbed down to like where if you don't have experience with the machine, if you don't know how to draw, if you are just kind of starting your journey, or this is something that you've been thinking about for a while and you want to like take it more serious, it will be good for you. But it will also be a little bit more advanced where like we're actually, you know, like I'll tell you some of the things in here in this like beginner one. So right now I have it broken down into 7 modules. First module being product knowledge. Like I said, this is going to be like beginner, but I still think it's super like important for you to know these things. And I'm not breaking it down just like the normal way. These are things that I'm structuring everything as if this was me 3 or 4 years ago, you know? And I wish I would have had more knowledge of this stuff because it would have helped me with a lot of my mistakes and a lot of trial and error. So in this, I'm going to be talking about like inks, how to make gray wash, and types of needles, types of machines, stroke lengths, all that kind of stuff. The label on box, like on cartridges, like what they actually mean. Kind of really like digging into it. Again, if you're a true beginner, some of it is going to go over your head. It's going to be a little overwhelming, but I'd rather give you that information so that you at least still have it, because you have lifetime access to these courses and videos. And I'm also going to be putting in like a PDF, an ebook style thing where it's a follow along, where whatever like design or stencils I make, or like the needle breakdown, the machine breakdown, like all that kind of stuff will be in that PDF, like in a written version. So you can reference it while you're watching the video, but also like after it, you have a point of reference that you can go back to. You don't have to like watch a whole video to get that same information. You can just reference it. I'm going to put like a pro and con list. I'm going to put of like why I would use this machine, why I would use this machine, or type of machine, or whatever types of ink. But yeah, it will make more sense the more videos I put out, the more things I put out. It'll make sense. Trust me, it will make sense. But like I said, like that beginner is going to be for true beginners, but also people who are like just still need some more fundamental help, some more knowledge, some more overall things. I'm going to have lists of everything that I'm talking about. Just, it will be very informative, but I'm going to try and make it where it won't go over a beginner's head, but it will also be very informative for a person who's maybe a little bit more advanced than a beginner, but you're still like technically a beginner, you know? So, another thing I'm going to be talking about in there. So like the modules, I have like lining, shading, packing black, setup, stenciling, sanitation, all that kind of stuff. That's like the overviews of the modules, but I go and break them down into a lot of different like subsections. So like for lining, it'll be like voltage versus hand speed, pushing versus pull, depth, stippling, like the types of lining with mag, you know. Again, I'm going to touch on a lot of these things as like for the beginner stuff, but it's going to be more fundamentally based, you know. And then the advanced is going to be completely different. Not completely different, but all that beginner stuff is not going to be in there. So it's not going to have anything about like really setting up or any of that stuff. Like it's going to be pretty much, I have it right here. It's going to be in the format, as of right now at least, how I approach like my full days, because that's all I do. That's all I take. Like this is for that. If you want to learn color and all that other kind of stuff, like this is not for you, you know. This is if you like how I tattoo, the style that I tattoo, how I use bigger mags, how I put together sleeves, advanced techniques. Like I get a lot of questions about like animal hair and human hair, you know, like women's faces and hair, and, you know, tiger faces and hair, and, you know, wolves and lions and all that kind of stuff. I've kind of figured out a very simplistic way to do it where I feel like it works. You know what I mean? Where a lot of people overcomplicate like hair, and I feel like I've figured out a simple system, you know what I mean, that kind of like fits my style. So I'm I'm gonna be going into that. Again, they're gonna be there's gonna be videos. This is all gonna be video based. So I'm gonna supply the PDFs and the ebooks and all that kind of stuff with it as reference, like for follow alongs, for practice, and for like future reference, like if you just want to reference it. Contrast, I'm gonna be going into that, like different tools, apps I use, tricks that I do to be able to enhance contrast and to like simplify your tattoo, because not everything you see in a picture should be tattooed. And I'm going to go over that in how to simplifying it, picking good references, like why I pick the references I do. And if I can't find the reference I want, what do I do? And how do I find that? And how do I make those references? Because a lot of times what you see me tattoo is not even a reference. Like a lot of times it's me picking this from this reference, picking that from this reference, and then like combining them, how I do that, how I use Procreate. It's going to be very advanced. A lot of this is going to be from my perspective on like the style I do. So I keep emphasizing that because this is not, the advanced one is not just like tattooing in general, this is like pretty specific to what I do, So like if you like that and you want to do more of that kind of stuff, this is going to be good for you. I have like a section on Big Mag. So the whole thing, my bad. If you see me looking down, I'm just referencing my iPad because this is where I have like the modules and everything. Another thing I get asked all the time about is how I use a 27 mag, the 35 mag, the 49 mag. Like I use those big mags, especially 27 mag. I use that for probably 70-80% of my tattoo. I try and use it as much as possible because I feel like it has so many benefits. The smooth shading you get, the ability to be able to cut corners and like with the mag and push off of it, get smooth blends like on first pass, cut edges with it, line with it, all that kind of stuff. I just think it's super beneficial. So that's definitely going to be a big section in there on that. Let's see what else. Making sleeves and designing them, like how I build them from scratch. So I'm going to show an example of like someone who doesn't have any tattoos and then how I would build that tattoo. I'm going to go over like my thought process, how I break it down. Like, so if they give me these two ideas, well, then I'm already thinking this or I'm thinking that, So it'll be kind of like almost like a practice section. Like I'm not going to tattoo that, but I'm going to show how I would approach it. And then there's going to be one on breaking like an actual tattoo I've done, why I put it together the way I did, how it looks from iPad to tattoo, breaking that whole thing down. And then there'll be a whole section on real-time tattooing. This is where I'm going to spend a lot of my time because I feel like it's beneficial to do that. Some of this is going to be practice skin just so I can show you techniques and stuff like that. But I'm going to have sections on real-time tattooing. I think another important thing that why I put this in here is the difference between like dark skin, light skin, and like medium tone skin. I think there is huge differences in between them, and this really can separate you as an artist. If you can do really good work on dark skin the way you do it on light skin versus medium skin, like you're going to be able to tattoo more people, and more people are going to want to be tattooed by you. And the way I do that is what I'm going to be talking about, So my approach to that, and I've kind of gotten a good understanding of like an approach where I've simplified my palette to be able to, the same way I tattoo, the approach on dark skin is the same approach I use on light skin and vice versa. It doesn't really change much, which is what I found to be helpful when you are tattooing like this, because it takes out a lot of the guesswork, A lot of people will overcomplicate, and this is what I did for a while. And where I saw growth in my work and, the amount of people that were happy with stuff was when I simplified things, which sounds like counterintuitive because like the more you're simplifying, you would think like, oh, you get more, you get better. You want to add more details and more this and more that. And you can, but you just have to do it the right way. And there's a way to do it. But a lot of it is going to be based on like around like kind of my tips and tricks, like the way that I do things and how I think about things. So it's kind of like shifting your mentality and your mindset from thinking maybe like the way you were taught, like if you were apprenticed or if you are self-taught and like the way you were teaching yourself, or from all these other like people who you got information from like YouTube or whatever. It's kind of like explaining those concepts but simplifying them, and also from like my approach, like why I do what I do, because I am self-taught and I didn't have a drawing background. So the way I kind of figured it out was using these simplified methods, and then you can like expound on them. And my hope is that, you guys take these concepts and the way that I approach things and kind of develop your own style within it. And I think it will give you a really good, obviously it's super advanced, so it's going to give you more than like just a foundation. But my hope is that it gives you foundation, but also like different perspectives on why to do certain things and why to approach them. That will be like super beneficial for you. I'm really excited. I really think it's going to help a lot of people. And I made it in the way that like I wish I would have had this 3 or 4 years ago. And I know everyone says that, but I really mean that. Like, this is things that I've learned along the way. And like, again, I use shortcuts, but it's not like shortcuts meaning like you don't have to put as much energy into it or, effort. It just means like, okay, instead of doing it this way, do it this way. And I think like, I know for me, when I figured those things out, like by trial and error, I was like, oh my gosh, like this makes it so much more easy to understand. I start looking at things completely differently. My approach has gotten way different, and I think it's been to my benefit. So again, my hope is to, kind of deliver that to you guys the same way. And again, like I said, I cannot emphasize this enough. A lot of these things that are on here are going to be key concepts, and I'm going to be showing you real-time examples. But it's obviously going to, differ when you go to do your clients or whatever they want to get tattooed or whatever, it will be different. People have different size bodies and different size, of areas. If I'm showing an arm, but then you're doing a leg and you're trying to apply, you know what I mean? Like, it will at least give you the same like thought process of how to the application process, and then you can manage it to what that person wants, or make your changes or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Or things that like I show you and you're like, I really like this, but then I realize like, oh, I like this, Again, I'm starting to rant right now and ramble. I'm just excited. I'm really excited. I'm really, 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 really excited, because I finally, finding like, I never thought I'd really get into courses and that kind of stuff. Like people that don't know this, and this might like be like, what? Like, what the heck? Because I've never really talked about this. Maybe I'll eventually make like a whole story time on this stuff, but I've worked with kids since I was in high school. So like I was in the special need, like I worked with special needs programs. I was going to school to become a teacher, sign language teacher, a special ed teacher, like all that kind of stuff. I love teaching, and I never really thought I would get into it with like tattooing with teaching, because I just feel like it's such a uniquely like artistic approach where it's kind of hard to teach. But with this, I found that like there is things that you can 100% teach. And just by helping different people along the way, making the videos I have, like I've realized that there is a lot that people can learn, as long as you put it in the right way, in the right format, it can really be helpful and beneficial to people. And I think it would be selfish if I didn't do that, It does take a lot of work. It does take a lot of that stuff, but I love to naturally like help people and teach people if I can, And this has kind of like sparked that again for me, where I'm excited that I think it's actually possible to be able to like structure this in such a way where you're like, you can, maybe get that light bulb to go off, because that is the greatest feeling to have, especially in tattooing. Like when that light bulb goes off, and it always like, it will keep continuing to go off your whole career. Don't think that just by getting one thing, you're like, oh, now I know everything, Things are ever evolving, ever changing, you know what I mean? I'm not no guru. I'm not no, I know everything type of person. I just think that I've had a lot of those light bulb moments and experiences, and I think that it can do that for you guys too. And that's what I'm excited about. That's what gets me really motivated to do this kind of stuff. And like I said, it's such a cool feeling when I do post like the videos or something and people, you know, are emailing and commenting saying like, bro, this really helped me out. Bro, this was cool. I didn't think about it this way. Oh, this helped me because of this and all this stuff. And I just hope to continue to like keep building on that and just keep making like the industry better as a whole. I've gotten a lot of slack for even putting out like the thought of these courses, like, you know, even the thought of me putting out things and like educating people, and even the videos I do put out right now, I get crazy emails and weird messages. But my hope is that we just keep kind of continuing to make it like better. You know, I can only focus on the good. That's what I only try and focus on. I don't really try and think about the negative stuff and who's going to be, you know, mad at me for putting this out and, oh, you shouldn't be doing this and you shouldn't be doing that. Like, I think that it will help a lot of people, and that's what my focus is on, you know? So again, I ranted like crazy on this video, but I just want to kind of keep you guys in the loop and keep you guys updated about what's going on right now. Give you guys an actual date of when I plan to drop it. Like I said, that link is going to be in the description. So go check that out to be able to get notified of any updates, early access, all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, please, like I said in the beginning of the video, drop what you want to see in this course so I can continue to keep getting feedback and molding this to the best possible way I can. Again, I cannot promise you that everything that you want in here is going to be in here, but another key point is that I'm going to be sectioning it into separate modules. So like, you don't have to just get the entire course and not know what's going to be actually in the course. I'm going to be opening it up so you can see like, oh, module 1 is this. And then there's 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, whatever it is, right? And like each video is different, but it's in this overall module. And then you're like, no, I just want this module. I don't really care about everything else. I just want this one, or I want this one and this one, you know? You'll be able to do that instead of just having to get an entire, you know, course that maybe you only want 25% of or 50% of, you know? And it would be the same thing on the beginner side too. If you think that you're more advanced, but you want to know a few different, like more beginner elements, you can just cop a few of those, and then be good. Be on your way. Take what you want from it. Take what you need from it. And that's what I'm saying. This isn't like one of those things that's like a crazy money grab for me or doing it with like bad intent. I really want it to be a way that I took a lot of time to try and think of a way that it could benefit more than just like a group of people, you know? Because I know that there's going to be a lot of you that just want they want the whole thing. But I think that there's also some of you, like if you were like me, where there's a lot of times I see courses out there or, you know, training programs or even, you know, in-person seminars and stuff that I'm like, I would like it. I would like to learn these things, but I only really want to learn this much. So why am I going to pay all this for just this, you know? So now you can't. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was one-on-one programs. So like I've gotten a lot of like emails about that too. Like if I have one-on-one stuff, if all that kind of stuff. And I am going to be putting that out there too, but I just haven't figured out the exact way of like how I want to do that, where it's going to be the most beneficial for you guys as well, you know? So I'm still working that part out, but I will have that available eventually where we can actually like go through one-on-one, like some of your work, kind of review it, critique it a little bit, see where you can improve on things. You can ask me things that you're struggling with, and then we can kind of like work more one-on-one over like Zoom or something. And then so I'll have that for the people who are out of state or out of country. And then if you are in Arizona or you are wanting to come out here, I'll have stuff for in-person stuff as well. But like I said, bro, just start with these like videos and these courses first, bro, because I feel like you'll be able to benefit a lot from just that alone, you know? And then I have a secret surprise. I have not talked about it yet, but it will be for the first, I don't know how many yet. I haven't decided like a number yet, but the first however many people that I come up with that cop the full course will also get a free one-on-one with it. So like I said, it will be limited to a certain amount, but it will be kind of like for those first people that were really like just like jumping on it right away. I know you want this and you get it, and then I'll have that one-on-one course available for you or one-on-one call, so we can kind of go through everything. That if you had a bunch of questions or you wanted more clarification on something, you can get that one-on-one time for free that I'm just going to go and talk to you directly about. So yeah, so those that stay till the end of this video, you're a real one. And that's why I talked about it in the very end of the video, because I only want you guys to know the real ones. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so I'm excited. There's a bunch of different features I'm going to put in there, a bunch of different stuff. I'm excited. So shout out to you guys, everybody that's been rocking with me. I appreciate all the love and support as always, bro. You guys are real. Keep grinding, keep pushing, keep doing your thing, bro. And yeah, bro. I'll meet you at the top, bro.